It's cycle 2, week 16, and this week your student is learning about Newton's laws of motion. The first one, that an object in motion tends to remain in motion and an object at rest tends to remain at rest. Probably the same way that it's 2 minutes into assembly and you're already texting the group chat asking who's getting coffee. In particular, when it comes to Newton's law of motion, we can look at this as a science fact, which your child will promptly dump out of their brain by Tuesday, or we can think about what it's training them to do. To look at something and wonder, here is an effect, what was the cause? By the end of this video, you're going to understand why Newton's first law of motion connects to translating Caesar and Challenge 2, to understanding World War II, to understanding cell biology. Basically every hard thing that your student will ever do could be tethered back to this one moment, this one idea or concept that changed the way they see the world. Now, I'm not saying or guaranteeing this. I'm saying it was important for me, and it might be just as important for your student. Let's start right here. Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law states that an object at rest tends to remain at rest, and an object in motion tends to continue moving in a straight line at constant speed unless acted upon by an outside force. This week, your child is learning a science fact. Yes, but it is a principle which I think they can apply to everything in their life. They're learning to look at things not simply as the thing they see, but as the direct consequence of things before it. Sometimes it's very obvious, you can look back and see, and sometimes it's very nuanced. And there are a lot of things, a multiplicity of factors which cause a thing to be something else. Things don't change without reason. And so while it's true that velocity, momentum, the ideas behind acceleration and force, all of these things can be tied back to an understanding of Newton's first principle, it's not simply the material physical sciences that we can look at through this lens. Also this week in Foundations, your student is learning about World War II, how it started and how it ended. This is a thread we've been following for a while. The Industrial Revolution created economic tension and new technologies. That tension, the nationalism, fueled World War I, World War I's unresolved conflicts, the Treaty of Versailles, economic devastation, political instability, all of it leads to World War II. And your child is starting to understand that. It's not just a thing that happened, those things are connected. Whether it's while reading primary sources in Challenge 1, or reading Patriots History in 3, or The Discoverers in Challenge 4, your student's understanding of these times will be greatly enriched by just applying a habit that they can pick up today of asking, what caused this? Now let's look at Latin. This week we're learning the imperfect tense. I was doing something, ongoing action. Later on in Challenge, when your student is decoding Latin sentences straight out of Gaelic texts, where Caesar's explaining how they were doing something and where his armies were moving to, all of this translation, understanding the verb forms, if you're still having to reference the endings every time, it's going to slow you down and it's going to make the whole process miserable. Memorizing these and actually setting them to memory concretely will greatly affect your ability to translate later and actually enjoy reading Latin texts. That's one of the main reasons we harp so much on memory in Foundations, is because it's easy to memorize a thing and not know what it's for, but it's hard to need a thing and not have it memorized. This idea of the imperfect tense also applies to everything else that they do in English, not just in Latin. The imperfect tense is used regularly. Let's say we're looking at scripture. There's a difference theologically between something saying, I was saying to you, versus I say to you. The first sentence communicates relationship over time, the ongoing revelation, as opposed to an instance. And so you have to know the difference, or you're going to miss the meaning. This week in math, we'll be studying the area of a rectangle, and I don't think I need to explain why you'll use this all the time. This week in fine arts, we're studying Monet. Picture this. Your world is being taken over by AI and nothing feels real. Well, he felt something very similar. In the Industrial Revolution, Monet was watching everything become process-oriented, standardized, all of the life sucked out of it. And so the Impressionist movement was in some ways a direct response to culture in the Industrial Revolution. Light, color, impression, single moment, subjectivity, all of these ideas you can see in Impressionist paintings. And you can see the reason for them as the environment where Monet lived. Again, all of this understanding This kind of a rich grasping with a concept only happens when you train the muscle to stop and ask why. This week I skipped over explaining geography, the Balkans, or talking about the timeline cards. But I think that's okay. We know what they're for, and they're building towards something, in the same way that I think Newton's first law of motion can be building towards a lot of other things for your student. So this week in community, when you're looking down and thinking about that coffee order, I want you to remember that your child could be taking away something from this that is quintessential to their learning experience. I want you to think back on your own education, to things that changed the way that you see the world, that formed your ideas and thoughts. Newton's first law of motion may not be that for your student, but it could be. This could be the first week where they begin to train that muscle to stop and ask why, to see things not as chaos, but to see the world as inspired, created, and controlled, to see the world as God made it. So remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good things. Send it to someone who needs to be reminded that learning is a lifestyle. Be an everyday educator.